We're with Eastern Connecticut head men's lacrosse coach Justin Axel, getting ready for the season opener. Justin, you guys have been working hard. General thoughts on the season?
Very excited about this year's team. I think we have a great group of kids. They've worked extremely hard in the off-season, probably our strongest in the weight room that we've seen yet. There's definitely a chip on their shoulder from last year's team. With everything moving forward, I think this team has the capability of beating anybody on our schedule.
What are some of the things that you like about the team?
The team, it's a very tight-knit team. The chemistry's there. The team bonding experience has been there. You know, we did the Judgment Day earlier in the year that really kind of brought our team together, taught them how to focus on attention to detail, being disciplined, being mentally tough. I think that was a really good lesson for not only our team but just college students in general to have the opportunity to learn. It's a really tight-knit team that's worked extremely hard.
It's got to be enjoyable for you. This is your fourth year, so basically everybody on this year's roster is only played for you, right? That's got to be. You're at the level. You're at the stage right now where you hope to be a couple of years ago, right? In terms of that,
absolutely, they're my guys.
Yeah,
I love them to death. They're great guys, and they're now system guys. They know it's now. What makes the learning curve so much easier for some of the freshmen is that now we've had juniors and seniors in the program for 3 or 4 years, so they're almost coaches on the field for us. So if I'm over on one end of the field, there's a senior telling a freshman, listen, you need to do this in this situation. So more or less, instead of having 3 or 4 coaches there, we actually have 14 coaches.
We talked a little bit before we went on camera about talk about the depth on this year's team. That could be a real bonus for this squad.
Oh, absolutely. The depth on this year's team not only makes us dangerous against every team we play, but it also allows us in practice to get better and better each and every day, because there's right now about 33 guys that can go into the game at any point in time. And it also challenges each kid as we move forward, knowing that, hey, if I don't work hard today, there might be someone who's going to creep up the depth chart. And we've already seen that this preseason, and I have no doubt we're going to continue to see that throughout the year.
Talk about some of the people at each position, offense, defense, mid, face-off. Talk about some of the top people at each position.
Well, the great thing is we returned the entire starting attack from the conference championship game. Grant Albertson's a great finisher. We have 3 great finishers on attack. Grant's, a great outside shooter, has a great stick. Vinny's an incredible crease guy. And Sully's, Mike Sullinger's an excellent finisher and tight, nice lefty. And that also worked on his vision and feeding ability this offseason, that he can, feed and carry the ball a little bit as well. As far as the midfield is concerned, I think our first midfield line might be one of the most athletic that I've ever coached, between Eric Vazel, Salu Bolivar, and then Eric Kluge, who was a nice addition to this year's team. Mike Glennon also rotates in on that line. The second line is actually composed of 3 freshmen. It's odd that you have 3 freshmen ready to go and ready to play, but they've proved themselves in practice each and every day, and also in the scrimmages. That's Mike Devine, Tyler Friesen, and then Trevor Morissette. And they were both all, pretty highly recruited kids out of high school who've worked extremely hard since they've gotten here, and that's allowed them to make the jump. Brian Feckman, is an attackman / midi kind of hybrid player, also runs with them as well.
And how about on defense?
On the defense, we have Tommy Flynn, who's, an all-conference player. Ryan Schneelock, who was an all-conference player. And then another great addition is Nick Stoop, who's a transfer from Robert Morris. He's, I think, very similar player to Tommy. Does an excellent job getting on a player's hands. Very athletic, excellent stick, and we also have Sean Leary at the long stick midi position. We've got 3 all-conference, poles, and then we add Nick Stoop, who might be one of the better in the group. Dan Dowling's also right there in the mix. That he's done an excellent job getting better, and he's going to face some top opponents as well.
How about the goalie situation? You got your 2 goalies back from last year.
Yep. Oh, it's always nice having goalies return. Don Berube, played on that Olympic team, the national team over the summer, which gave him a lot of confidence. And you've seen that confidence go from his freshman to sophomore year. Anytime you start as a freshman, it's extremely difficult adjusting to college level, but was kind of, we threw him into the fire. He did a pretty good job for us last year, and we're really hoping that he continues to prove off of his freshman campaign. And then at the same time, Jamie Thomas has done an excellent job too. He's right there, staying on Donnie's heels and making sure that Donnie, knows that we've got depth at the position. So it makes me feel a lot more comfortable as a coach.
And then the one player we probably haven't talked about is probably the X factor, Eric VID00001, the premier face-off man in the country. You got to be happy. There's got to be like a real high comfort level, knowing that you're going to win probably 70% of your face-offs every game.
Oh, absolutely. Having Eric VID00001 and just the work he's put in, he was an All-American for us last year as a junior. I think he's going to be a very high All-American for us this year as well, as long as he stays healthy. But he's even improved off of last year's campaign as he's stronger, he's faster, he's become better offensively. He's a kid that just, if we get down a few goals, we know we can still come back because we're going to get that many more possessions. Yeah. And then also at the same time, it allows us to go on runs. We can be up 3 or 4 goals, and the team may not see the ball if we limit our turnovers.
Justin, last question. Upcoming Stevens Tech opener, always a tough team to play.
Absolutely. I know Stevens Tech they just had a nice win over Endicott. They won 15-9. They returned almost everybody off of last year's team. It'll be a great test to see where we are this early in the season. We're going in expecting to win, and if we don't, it allows us to see where we are on March 2nd. Bottom line is, we play these tough teams. Whether it's Stevens Tech, a Wesleyan, a Cotton College. Cotton I think is ranked 8th in the country right now, to help get us ready for a conference. Because the bottom line is we need to win our conference to make the national tournament, and we're doing a good job of playing some very tough out of conference opponents that gets us ready for a conference.
Justin, thank you. Good luck this season.
Thank you, Bob.